In K pop, perfection has always been the product. Idols train for years to master choreography, diction, and stage presence, their every move filtered through an agency's idea of what sells. And music often comes pre written, concepts pre approved, and personalities trimmed into digestible archetypes. Then Cortis emerged with a different agenda. When Big Hit introduced Martin, James, Juhon, Songyun, and Kono, they didn't call them idols at all. The group was labeled a young creator crew. And that's a deliberate reframing that places them closer to a collaborative workshop than a managed act. The goal isn't to perfect a formula, but to build a practice, a living, evolving process that treats creation as something communal rather than commanded. And in their US run, here are 8 things that we observed and picked up that perfectly explains the difference between an idol and a creator crew. Celebrate the cringe. In their interview with iHeart, they said that they never really understood why people hate being awkward. They want to instead celebrate the cringe. They don't mean it ironically. To them, embracing awkwardness is part of honesty. They may have said it half jokingly, but they were really sincere. K pop has long been an industry obsessed with perfection. Cortis operates on a different axis, individuality as collaboration. They are a crew precisely because they like doing things regardless of what the outcome may be. The adventure creates the spark. And for global young listeners, this resonates immediately. Western media outlets have been quick to highlight the group's good kind of weirdness, recognizing in them a kind of honesty that speaks the same language as YouTube creators, bedroom producers, and DIY filmmakers. The appeal is not in their flawlessness, but in the freedom they represent. Daily life as creative material. Cortis's work starts from proximity, the things they feel, see, and think about every day. In their interviews with Zane Lowe and iHeartRadio, the members describe their lyrics as reflections of what we feel, encounter, or experience. Their songs unfold like journal fragments stitched into rhythm. And that perspective shapes their sound as much as their story. Hip hop and trap meet psychedelic rock and R&B, often in the same track. Lullaby, for example, a song Martin built from a jazz rhythm he had never tried before, carries that kind of off balance warmth that only experimentation produces. Their debut EP, Color Outside the Lines, feels like a scrapbook of moods rather than a curated concept. The edges are intentional, music that still has fingerprints on it. The emphasis on daily life also explains their rapid exposure to international audiences. Within 2 months of debut, Cortis was already performing at iHeartRadio Theater in Los Angeles and appearing on the Zane Lowe Show. Big Hit's decision to push them into the global circuits early wasn't only a marketing play. For artists whose writing depends on lived experience, immersion in different cultures expands the material itself. The world becomes a studio, and every encounter has the potential to turn into a song. Live performances as a laboratory. Most rookie acts debut with tightly controlled showcases, choreographed perfection, pre recorded backing, and minimal improvisation. Cortis went the other way. From their very first stage appearance, they performed live, and the result was seamless. And that's what made it compelling. Live delivery reveals where instincts take over once the choreography ends. Each member's background in dance and production gives them a technical foundation, but their value on stage lies in spontaneity, how they recover from slips, how they connect, how they turn a crowd's noise into rhythm. That looseness feeds their creative identity. A creator crew doesn't just rehearse a product, it experiments in public. Every performance becomes an extension of the studio, another space where the group can test ideas, read reactions, and sharpen personality. The energy may be rough, but it's unmistakably theirs. Over time, this will cultivate individuality, not assigned roles, but evolving stage personas grounded in instinct rather than instruction. Building for longevity. From the start, Cortis resisted the visual logic that drives most idol promotions. Their music videos rarely fixate on desirability or perfect framing. Go looks like a film project born from friends testing a camera. Joyride is chaotic and self aware, more short film than beauty reel. The production process itself reverses the usual hierarchy. The members come up with the concept first. They shoot their own music videos, their own version, mapping storylines and visuals, and they even edit it themselves. Once they have their own music video, the label's team will build their own version based on the original foundation. It's big hit that is copying their work and growing it, not the other way around. In other words, Big Hit is simply refining what the members came up with. This is what long term identity looks like in practice. Young artists learning to direct themselves. And that decision has a structural benefit. When creative vision belongs to the group, the fan connection deepens. Support shifts from image to authorship. Fans invest in the creators, not just the characters. It's the difference between following a brand and following a body of work. Cortis may not have the usual milestones of success in K pop like music show trophies, but the numbers are persuasive. Over 100 million Spotify streams in their first month, and a Billboard 200 entry at number 15, and they stayed there for a while. Those achievements arrived through organic reach and repeat listening, signs of a group that builds gradually, not one engineered for flash peaks. Process over persona. Cortis's behind the scenes content mirrors their creative ethos. Instead of stylized reality shows, they post vlogs that feel accidental, studio clips, candid banter. They spent experimenting with sound or film. These fragments echo the DIY energy of early BTS footage when imperfection made the process tangible. The effect is twofold. It humanizes them in an industry built on distance and proves that their creator label isn't promotional theater. Fans see the work, the trial runs, the revisions. People watch the group make something rather than simply appear with it. That transparency builds a sense of proximity rare in idol culture. The crew doesn't project mystique, it builds rapport. And for a generation raised on creators who live stream their process, this openness feels natural. Cortis operates in that language, the rhythm of digital creators who share before they finish, who let audience grow with them. It's a kind of honesty that can't be manufactured through fan service. Proof of craft. The creator label would ring hollow if it weren't backed by skill. Cortis's pre debut credits fill the gap. Martin composed for TXT, Beautiful Strangers, and I'll It, Magnetic, and others, while James choreographed for both acts. Those credentials matter less as resume points and more as proof of internal fluency, an understanding of how production, performance, and storytelling intersect. It also reshapes the group dynamic. In Cordis, expertise circulates among peers rather than flowing downward from management. The studio becomes a conversation, not a command chain. When members bring finished ideas to the table, the label's role shifts from author to amplifier. The group holds the narrative authority, and Big Hit provides the scale to broadcast it. This equilibrium gives the project resilience. Trends can change, but skill and authorship endure. Cortis functions as a creative ecosystem that can evolve without reinventing itself every comeback. The comfort of chaos. In their interview with iHeart, Cortis described their process to be reflective of their line. They simply don't like doing the same things. It's an acknowledgement that vulnerability is part of the creation. They said they don't even like wearing the same things. If one person is wearing black pants, the other won't wear one. Or at the very least, they will wear one that's kind of whack. To many, it sounded like rebellion, but to them, that's just who they are. They have the natural desire to be different, loud, and messy and off key. That's what distinguishes the group from their peers. They don't treat experimentation as a gimmick, it's just the baseline condition of their work, even their own personalities. Each track feels like a conversation among five creators testing limits rather than a polished product chasing uniformity. And it's resonating so well with the Western market because the shift in fame has already happened. Creators have replaced traditional celebrities who are known for their perfection. The audience is now looking for cultural mirrors. The ones who thrive today aren't those who seem to be untouchable, but those who stay visible while figuring things out. Their value lies in unfilteredness, in letting people watch the process, not just the product. That's the same dynamic driving Cortis. Their art doesn't hide the scenes, it highlights them. Each song, vlog, or live performance feels like an ongoing draft of who they are becoming. They aren't performing perfection for an audience, they're performing growth in real time. Done over perfect. James summed it up best in the Forbes interview. He said that everything is at the tip of your fingers. You can create anything in a minute. And that statement captures how Cortis approaches art. It's not a monumental act, but as an everyday practice. They live in a world where ideas flow faster than they can be refined, where tools are immediate and feedback is global. Done over perfect is less than a motto than a creative reality to them. To make something genuine, they have to move before the thoughts hardens. That speed doesn't diminish their work, it keeps them alive. Cordis's process mirrors the rhythm of their generation, instinctive, collaborative, and perpetually in motion. The outcome might lack the usual flair of legacy K pop, but it carries a different kind of precision, the kind that comes from people who understand exactly what they're trying to say, even if they haven't figured out the cleanest way to say it yet. I don't think they're trying to redefine what K-pop is. I think they're just trying to belong to it in their own terms. They're proving that experimentation can actually coexist with structure and that individuality will actually strengthen a group's identity rather than collapse it. And I think in the process of building their artistry, they are going to unconsciously expand what it actually means to be an idol. And I am all for it and I'm here for it. I think it's not really for them, not necessarily about perfection per se, but the perfection of the process. And that includes mistakes and failures and second guesses and doubts. But in the end, what they're trying to capture is the moment that they're living in. And I think that's what's going to spell the difference. Um, I do understand that as they become more successful, of course, it's going to bring with it hate, and a lot of people will try to bring them down. So I think the fandom that's starting to form and starting to strengthen must be more vigilant in highlighting their artistry and their s- substance, because I believe that's really what is going to set them apart from this new generation of idols and new generation of creators. Okay, would love to hear your thoughts though. I if you have actually seen them perform in person in this US run, would love to hear about your experience. I'm so excited actually to watch them in a concert. Okay. Leave your comments in the comment section below, but please, you can say whatever it is that you want to say. Just please do so respectfully. Also, please consider donating to the channel. The QR code is on your screen right now. We launched our online magazine, asianentertainmentandculture.com, and we are going to do a formal launch by the end of the month. We're already preparing for that. Any suggestions, remarks, constructive criticism will be appreciated. Also, please follow me on X, Instagram, but more importantly on Patreon, because that's where the community is. Would love to see you there. If you are looking for people with the same interests and looking for people that you can discuss movies and TV shows and music with, that's the place for you. We do have a free tier just in case you want to try things out. And that is it. Please, if you are a member of my Patreon or YouTube member, I opened that several months ago. I do a once a week live stream, and that doesn't go public. That's just for members only. Also, exclusive videos. That's it. Please like the video, subscribe, and hit that notification button. But the most important thing is for you to share the video. That's really going to help the channel. That's it. Thank you.